offenses, and that they stole the tag team titles for American Alpha, and then assault and battery, and blah, blah, blah. And that they count up all the violations and plan a big bust to go down on May 21st at Backlash against the Usos. A very interesting deal, and I thought it was actually very entertaining to kind of see Breezango, a.k.a. Febreze, as I like to call him. They do a very interesting deal here. I think that it's kind of relatable because it does like the whole Law and Order style deal. It's a pretty good segment, and I guess it's going to start building them up a little bit. I was very hesitant about them being number one contenders, but now looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, they might actually do well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully this doesn't get overused too much, because then people are going to get annoyed. I've noticed that a lot about so many different things in which they overuse certain segments, and then it just really doesn't work, and it gets people annoyed real easily. But let's talk about the main event: Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship, and AJ Styles was banned from ringside. This was another great matchup between the two of them. I think that it was just a slight tidbit better than the one that they had at Payback. But again, Jericho and Kevin Owens are just really good in the ring. Having this as, I guess, sort of the final send-off was just, it was still very, very cool to see. Kevin Owens' hand was worked on quite a bit. We see Kevin Owens hit like the cannonball on the outside. We see Kevin Owens just go crazy. And then we see Jericho focus on the hand, which takes Kevin Owens a little bit of time to just, kind of to be like, oh boy, that's not good. This was actually a really cool sequence, I thought. Jericho drops Kevin Owens with an elbow, and he looks to hit the Lionsault, but Kevin Owens blocked it with his knees. Kevin Owens goes for the cannonball, but then Jericho got out of the way, hits the Lionsault for a quick 2 count. Twice on this occasion, we saw Kevin Owens get locked in the walls of Jericho, but Kevin Owens was able to find a way to just, he finds a way to get to the ropes. So many super kicks were hit on Chris Jericho, and even he hit a DDT on Jericho on the outside, which I thought, oh man, that was a pretty good spot. It was right by the ramp, so he hit the steel, which made it even more impressive. And then he hits the super kick again for the 1-2. Jericho kicks out. Kevin Owens goes for a pop-up powerbomb, but Jericho reverses with a Frankensteiner, goes for the walls of Jericho, reach for the ropes. Okay, I think I missed my notes right here. So trying to think here. Kevin Owens stomps on Jericho and then finally hits the pop-up powerbomb for the 1-2-3 and regains the U.S. title. Kevin Owens grabs the belts and he's heading up the ramp, and they're checking on Jericho. He looks like he's been hurt. It was a great matchup, to say the least. But then the aftermath showed Kevin Owens coming back, hitting a second pop-up powerbomb on Chris Jericho. He goes for another, but Jericho is just limping. He can't do anything. It just was a very interesting, actually. Oh, and then we get into this point where it just, oh boy, this just really made things very interesting. They have Kevin Owens put Chris Jericho's head into a chair and basically have it wrapped around it, and then slam Jericho's head and chair head first into the ring post. And basically, it looks like Chris Jericho has like a neck injury. He looks like he's just destroyed. So that is going to take Chris Jericho off of TV for a while. Obviously, for Fozzy, that's coming up. It was a brutal, brutal beatdown. Kevin Owens just again showing that he is going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes down to it. And they've made it official that it is going to indeed be Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the U.S. title at Backlash. So this will still be a feud that is going to be amazing. If you guys haven't gotten the chance to see, go check out Styles versus Owens on Raw. I think it was last year. I think it was either last year or 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember when it was. But it was a really good matchup between the two of them. And I think that they're just going to really burn the house down to nothing because it's going to be that hot. It's going to be that amazing. So, SmackDown definitely did a better job than Raw this week. I'm willing to admit that. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the build-up to SmackDown continues to just grow and grow and grow. It's just going to be an awesome event. Definitely looking forward to it on May 21st, guys. Backlash, SmackDown exclusive. It is going to be insane. All right, so I'm going to probably wrap up the show by talking about this. On April 1st, I didn't realize that they actually made this announcement. They did announce, though, that the women's tournament that has been heavily rumored is indeed going to happen this summer. Now, the only reason why I bring that up is because I was listening to an episode of Sun Monsters Sound Off, and he mentions that it could be a possibility that the winner of this tournament goes on to face Asuka, which would be a very interesting deal, especially if Asuka is still the women's champion by, say, Brooklyn, I want to say, because I think... So basically, we're not sure exactly the official date. Somebody might be able to help me that. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter at NateFandGreat if you have an idea on when this tournament is coming about. All I know is it's either happening this month or in June. Either way, it's going to be a can't-miss tournament. I mean, if you've seen the Cruiserweight Classic, if you've seen the United Kingdom tournament, those two tournaments are just absolutely astonishing. So you think about all the women that could possibly be brought in to the Women's Classic, you could call it, or you can call it the Women's Tournament, or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be just amazing. I mean, so many women that you could just incorporate. Some women that come to mind, Eva Lise would be one. You could probably throw in Rosemary from Impact Wrestling. I doubt they're going to do that, but it would be very interesting. Jade, Gail Kim. I think that would be a great comeback for her, especially just to build her up, maybe get her to the quarterfinals, and help put some of the younger talent over. If she's still wrestling, I'm going to probably look that up right now. I would love to see Awesome Kong come into this women's tournament. I know that, she would probably be credited as Karma, but I think that, having Awesome Kong as, just as one of those people. Okay, so she still is wrestling. Yes, I would definitely throw Awesome Kong into that, into that matchup, because again, she was an amazing wrestler, and just to have her, maybe dominate, maybe even get to the finals, would be absolutely amazing. Can you imagine Awesome Kong versus, Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship? That would just be flat out amazing. It would just be, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I'm very interested in hearing what's going to happen with the women's tournament. I'm interested in hearing who the participants are going to be. We're just going to have to wait and see those, because right now it's still in the works, and they still haven't made any announcements as to who's going to be in it. So we will hopefully see. Fingers crossed on some people that I'm hoping are in this, because I really want some of these great women to be involved in this. So again, hopefully next coming weeks I will give you guys updates on who's going to be in the tournament and who's going to just tear the house down. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining me here for another edition of SmackTalk. Of course, you can always find us on our site, Elite Ringside Network, Facebook.com/ER Network 24/7, which is also our Twitter handle. How convenient. You can also check us out on our Twitters. They'll be in the links here, especially if you're listening on Spreaker.com as well as iTunes. Be sure to also tune in this Thursday for another edition of Smart Money Podcast, and on Friday, probably going to go through a rant where I'm actually going to talk about, the brand split as to, how it's doing right now. Is it working? Is it failing? We'll kind of get a little more into that in just a bit. So very interesting things coming up this week. So thank you so much for joining me here for a Smack Talk. Hopefully next week, Spencer Hardy as well as Max PD will be back. But until then, see you guys next week. Have a good one. Make the effing great. So-